something. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Complexity versus Navi. On Mirage. First, Complexity starting on the T side and Navi on the CT side. So let's see what we get here. It's going to be some basic smokes coming up on the T side for, I think, it's just a straight A execute. Get in there. They do have a P250 on Blamef for the long range.
Look at this gamble from Navi, though. They put 4 players over towards B immediately at the beginning of the round. They were expecting Complexity to just go for the YOLO B rush, and instead it's Complexity who are just going to walk right out onto this A site. Flamey and Simple backing off, just putting shots through the smoke, but not taking a fight. This is just going to turn into a very early retake here from Navi.
Super reasonable play for Navi not to try and fight that, longer than you need it to, because why? You're just going to get shut down. Now they're waiting. They have a single flashbang on Boomich. They're going to pop it around the corner, but there's a counter flash. Everyone is throwing grenades now, and Config coming up with a massive triple kill. Every single one of them headshots, and Electronic, he couldn't stand up long enough to that fight. He's going to go down after a double kill of his own, and Complexity, they pick up the round. And, I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with anything Navi was doing. It's so hard to do in a pistol. You have to take some risks, and yeah, they were a little bit heavy on the B-bomb side. Turned out not to be quite where they needed to be, so fair play.
Sure, that happens. The main thing here is that, I mean, sometimes you just have to go for the gambles, that's fine, and then you can't account for them counter-flashing at the exact time that you flash, and then it's just wild. It's just the comedy of errors. You gotta shake it off, and you move on, and you have confidence in your game going forward, because they did go for a 4-spy here. Simple's the only one holding on to a little bit of money, just so they get that op and play a bit faster. But yeah, Navi, if they feel confident that they are the superior team, whatever, you're not rattled in that sort of scenario. What I like to see there is Config popping off right there in the pistol, getting some confidence, building frags.
Absolutely.
He was absent yesterday. He was not fragging as hard as he needed to be in order for his team to win against Vitality. So he kind of faded in that one. And so if we're going to see, that's one of the elements that I need to see here from Complexity for them to win against Navi is yesterday was a freak occurrence. Today, we're going to get Config just ripping heads off.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that has to be a large part of the prediction, for that to make sense.
Well, Rush top fragged in that series, dude. It's like, okay, that's not going to happen every time. Rush is good, but you're going to have the other guys who have to step in.
Listen, I'm ready for it. I want to see that Yugi coming up with a kill here. Perfecto. Almost could have been a double. Eagle, even close range, could be real impressive. They're going to slowly start to make their way onto the site, and it's just Flamey left. So maybe getting the kill here, but I don't think he's going to be able to win the round. And they'll hold on to the AKs. Some of the MAC-10s went away, but I don't think that's really a big problem. I mean, you talk about Config, and I agree. If you had to point out one player that could pull through an upset, he would be top of the list for me on this team. But I still think, I realize that everyone is, at this point, probably fairly disappointed with JKS on this lineup, but I just don't want to undersell just exactly how world-class JKS really can be. So that's another outside shot. Like, if you were going to predict Complexity to win, wouldn't it be beautiful if it was JKS showing up to his real, true level that I don't even think we've seen yet on this team? And if that happened, I mean, it is a different game at that point in time.
He, however, is not somebody that, in my calculations, I'm relying on.
No, I'm just going off history with the team so far. You probably couldn't, right?
No,
but if it happened,
I think JKS is one of those players who really needs to have, who needs to be comfortable. Like, everything's got to be lined up nicely. Everything, he's got to be in a team. They've got to have a system. They got to have a plan.
Get him comfortable.
Then,
get
he's
him
feeling comfortable.
To sit on.
And then he starts clicking heads like an insane monster beast, and everybody dies in front of him, right? But I think there's a lot of factors that need to come together for us to get that star from JKS, and I don't think that we have that right now when they keep having to play stand-in. And he's constantly traveling around. They're over here in Europe now. I don't think that the factors are there for JKS to shine. I hope he proves me wrong, obviously, but I don't think that as we've seen the performances in the past, I don't think that's what we can expect from JKS.
We haven't seen it yet. That is absolutely true. So yeah, it's a bit of wishful thinking, but I think that would really throw in like a weird wrinkle into this game if that was suddenly happening. So we'll find out. Simple, 1 versus 5, looking for a couple of Deagle headshots. Not going to be able to do much more than that, obviously, but, you could take some rifles away, especially if Config and Blamef, stick around too long, which it looks like they won't, so fairly uneventful round. It's just Config adding some more eco kills.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, why not?
Good for him. I'm really keeping my eye on the Danes today. And again, Denmark just keep churning out talent, and that talent, at least as far as I'm concerned, Complexity is Blamef and Config. Yugi, anything anything above average from Yugi is fantastic. That's all he needs to give. You know, nobody's looking to him to carry on this team, right? He's just there to fill his role, and if he shines, fantastic. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Blameif and Config are the ones that I'm watching, and they've got the goods.
I mean, you could even make somewhat of an argument that maybe Yugi should even not put too much emphasis on buying the AWP, because he's going to be playing it simple anyway. So if you were you know, a betting person, you probably would not be picking Yugi over simple in this kind of a matchup. So yeah, maybe just try and be a middle of the road rifler, and then maybe that could be fine. I kind of agree with that. Boomich on top of the smoke, trying to make it a one-way, and well, for the second kill, it certainly wasn't, but it's very effective nonetheless. He's going to get Rush and Yugi both downed, and Blameif, he's got a little bit of a return, but everyone is here, and Complexity must know that. They know that so much time has passed, but the bomb is kind of stuck there, so they can't even retreat. A late grenade to take down Boomich, and suddenly it's a 3-on-3.
They have a single smoke grenade left on Blameif as well, so what? Smoke goes down, that blocks off JKS. He's going to be stuck lurking, and now it's on Flamey to win the duel, and he doesn't! Simple and Flamey both die! How does that happen? Now it's Perfecto in a 1v3.
It even looked like Simple was covering the ramp there, but Blameif, you know, on point, clean headshot. He's a triple kill right now, working on a quad, and maybe it could be Perfecto. Long range here, it's JKS to chime in. Good timing between the two of them. No one fighting alone at the end there. And Complexity pick up the round. And not only that, they wipe out all of the rifles for Navi, who obviously thought they were going to win that 3-on-3.
Wow, and this off of Boomich. A player who's been struggling individually for Navi on an individual level. Nobody's really looking to him to hard carry on this team at all. You know, he's a guy who's going to need to get a little bit of a strong start here, I think, against a team that is playing with a stand-in. You know, you want that confidence being built up here for Boomich.
I have so many questions regarding Boomich in general in this team that I would love to figure out, you know, one day. Because it feels to me like the real power of having Boomich on the team. I don't really know that much about his leadership. You know, obviously there's a language barrier issue there. That's kind of tricky to work through. But he's one of those players that will sometimes take amazing risks and make plays that are so hard to predict. And it feels like, I think that should be, again, like that secret weapon that they have every once in a while, Navi. And I see it so rarely that I don't understand why. I feel like it would be cool to see that more often. So,
dude, play that. What is he spotting there? That's sick. So the double take, like, wait.
Yeah, hold on.
Somebody's there. You
see that so often in Connector when people, they sort of pretend to check, but they don't really. It's like they're just going through the motions, and then someone is there, and you know, maybe they screw it up. Well, perfect. it's trapped in here. He can't escape. They get shooting through the wall even.
Just don't. He's caught in this box. Don't let him out. Yeah, you see, they're even putting that wall bang in there.
Shocking that he lived that long. 5-0 in favor of Complexity. This is the T side of Mirage. I mean, this is a pretty good look right now.
Yeah.
I would say this is getting interesting. It's way too early to make any sweeping predictions about Navi or anything else like that, because this can happen when you lose the pistol in the first rifle round. You can go into this weird spiral early on.
Well, it's worth pointing out for all the Navi fans in here who are starting to bite their nails a little bit. Mirage is a perfectly average map for Navi. They've only played it twice in the last 2 months, and they've won once. You know, they've won and even then, their CT side was weaker than their T side. Their T side is average. Their CT side is below average. So we're just gonna have to see how this pans out.
Yeah.
But Navi, I expect Navi to get beaten up a bit in this first half here by Complexity.
Right, Rush, look at this. Flashing his way through a smoke, taking the fight the whole way. What a play. That was amazing. That was a one-man mission. He did not have any backup to do that with, and his team just trusted him to do it. The spacing between him and the rest of them was really a long time. I really enjoyed that. The only thing I didn't really quite catch is if any of the teammates that were up in the B hallways were throwing any flashes over to try and, you know, make sure that Perfecto couldn't turn around and really take it. It kind of looked like maybe that happened, but wow.
Let's go, Rush.
Yeah, and you know, this is, you talked about him top fragging yesterday, and I agree. I would not necessarily look for Rush to be doing that, but if you can make that
stepping up, not necessarily just sitting at the bottom, but if he starts having performances that put him towards the top as an entry, getting in there, creating space, getting kills, and that just bodes so well for Complexity.
It's huge. And we did in the replay, by the way, hear the flashbang going off, so I'm assuming that was probably someone helping out Rush on his side. That would be really good timing, because Perfecto turns around in that moment and is thinking, all right, I'm blocking the corner, I've got to fight, and then you just can't see anything. Got the AWP still in play, we've got an AUG, but you can tell not just the weapons are starting to dwindle a bit, but certainly the grenades are too. So now we are really having a money problem early on here in the 7th round. We're also having a round problem in the fact that they haven't won any yet.
Yeah.
And they've got, what, 3 kills on Flamey, that's the most. Simple on 0. All kinds of problems, in fact. Just...
yeah. Well, Simple can wake up at any time and start going to town, right? He can turn that around real quick. So, but that is still not boding well here for Navi, especially when you have to start going for FAMASs just so you can afford nades. But this is now Complexity really slowing down the round. And last time they slowed it down, it got a bit janky. That was that A take where they got gifted it by Navi essentially. So if they start slowing down and looking for picks, I'm wondering if this is going to hurt Complexity. Kind of want to see them try and put the pressure, just keep the pressure up on Navi and not really let Navi get a breather. BlameF has already taken over connector, so he's going to be able to hold on to this spot here, and this is looking like it's going to shape up into that B split as Short starts getting in. Electronic flashed in, looking for the fight, going to get traded 1-for-1. Flamey on Short as well, taking the fight with Yugi and does not manage to get that kill, but there's Perfecto and Simple chiming in. And again, just a little bit too slow there, Complexity. And Navi are able to establish control.
Yeah, the timing, I mean, right as they were going for the B split, they actually get stopped on the catwalk, and that just completely blew them apart. Otherwise, this setup for this round is so cool for Complexity, but the timing that Navi, flashed their way into that fight and just, I mean, they just knock essentially the feet right out from under them, which is great news. Because here's the other problem though. If they hadn't done that and they would have lost either catwalk or B, whoever was left would have been sandwiched on the bomb side, would have been a big problem. And then if they try and rotate in from the A bomb side, BlameF is over there and Connector just sniping them. Like they will never get there, because then they'll be worried about rotating in. So I think the whole setup for Complexity was really cool, but the timing for Navi, I mean, they took it away like 3 seconds, I think, before Complexity would have gone for it. That was impeccable. Flamey gonna be going down. They had a double up, but one of them is already down on the ground, so maybe not the best start here, and they need this round. Navi, they really need to wake up here. 6-1 is not a good scoreline. Time to get something going.
And they are going to try and do that actually fairly early. Look at Electronic now. With the support of Perfecto, they're setting up to be able to put a little bit of pressure here on Short.
Yeah.
Hoping that somebody here is from Complexity. And in the meantime, Complexity only just now going to start gathering up in mid. Rush has now got that bomb. And Complexity they're willing to play the slow game again here. I thought that they would try and accelerate off of this opening kill, keep that pace up, but they're starting to figure it out. And perhaps Booch is going to be in for a real tough time. 1-for-1 trade, perfect stuff. And Complexity have now got access to the A site.
How do you get back in a round like this? I mean, already they've got to be thinking, we can't really lose the rifles. That's not going to be an option. Quick trade there. Yugi with the AWP. So Perfecto and Simple are left. Simple not going to get that shot either. Perfecto alone 1 versus 3. They got 40 seconds. They don't really have to rush anything. They have to hurry to do this. And Perfecto knows someone is going to be covering this. So, wow, that was quite well played overall. I'm not 100% sure how they decided between A and B after they had got that first kill on the Complexity side, but they made the perfect call there. And also, if you notice, they Molotov the catwalk so that they can get up through connector without getting shot in the back. And there were a lot of little details like that. It's good to see Complexity do that and not lose track of what's happening. 7-1.
It's like first brilliant start. Attack timeout getting called here by Navi. I'm assuming it would make sense for them to try and slow down a little bit here. Although they wouldn't, they would be going into a buy round. They've got just enough money. Simple's got enough money for an AWP.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to sort of talk in terms of what has been missing so far, right? They've been very far back on the defense. The most we've seen is Flamey on that catwalk in the middle with the AWP where he got shot down in the previous round. That's about it. apart from, I think, the second round, they were pushing... I mean, Boomich was pushing apartments in second round on his own, where they just had pistols. And, like, you know, we haven't seen a lot out of that. And normally, that's something that we at least... we know can happen a lot on Mirage, right? Pushing top mid even with people. We saw that yesterday when we were watching that game. People flashing in their way to take those fights. So we know it's an option. And Navi just haven't really done it yet.
Ooh, this is sick. Moving right on up behind that Molotov. That is really clever stuff here from BlameF, and he is going to catch somebody. Does get traded. Not expecting Electronic to be here, of all people.
This is still brilliant. It's working out very well at the moment. Perfecto. Yeah, he needs a straight double kill with pretty much, you know, no delay to even have a chance of doing anything here. So they sacrifice BlameF for a trade. That's, I mean, just getting the kill on Simple while the attack's happening at B. That is just fine. Boomich and Electronic saving the rifles, I think, is really the only option. So 8-1. And
they can save the AWP at least.
They could get that, and that's kind of good news, but the problem right now, as far as I can tell, is that Navi really... First of all, I mean, they're losing a bunch of the early fights. That is always going to be an issue. We know that there's a strong correlation between winning that early fight and actually winning the round.
Yeah.
But it's like a secondary issue. They don't know what's happening across the map at all, ever. They don't have any information about what's going on outside of either bomb site or even in middle.
Well, I think what happened here is even I fell for it, right? When I was saying, oh, you know, I'd expect them to just accelerate behind this, that's BlameF kind of just shifting the speed, the speed of the game a little bit, where before that it was very aggressive, all out, get in your face, very quick rounds coming in from Complexity, and then BlameF, you know, takes his foot off the gas and says, okay, hold on, we can play some slow rounds too. And so maybe Navi, they're caught off guard where they're starting to think, okay, this is where we shift the speed of the game. Now we're going to start having some slow rounds. We'll take our time with it. We'll play it safe. And BlameF is like, actually, no, I'm just going to charge up connector straight up into your face and actually just start ripping everybody up over here. And that completely catches Navi off guard.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past BlameF. BlameF is that kind of mastermind, that kind of tricky mastermind.
I mean, you can't really predict that happening. Like, how would you be able to guess that he was just going to walk through the smoking connector? It's so unlikely. It's very, very cool, though. Boomage already got tagged by that AWP on Yugi, and they're setting up outside of the A bomb site with BlameF holding top mid on his own. And again, you know, just looking at Navi, I'm not saying that, you know, it's easy when you look at the minimap, you can see what's happening. But if they had any forward vision towards the B bomb site, the hallways, at least they could know that no one was immediately there. And maybe they could make some rotation plays around that. But again, they're very late to the party, starting to take up that fight towards the A ramp. Flamey and Perfecto both at the other bomb site. So really, it's up to Simple and Boomich and maybe Electronic over here. BlameF's going to be getting the kill on Flamey. He was walking in towards the middle of the map. So that's a good start to the round for them. Still got 55 seconds, and they're gonna make the rotation behind that. And Simple is trying to read them and catch them off guard. Let's see. This would be the time for him. You said he could wake up at any minute. I think now is the time. He's got 1 kill in the first 9-10 rounds.
Yeah, 1 kill, 1 assist for the absolute monster of CSGO. So now Simple would be the time to just start picking him off.
I mean, he's had the right read. He sees this coming. Perfecto is here with the HE. A bit of a missed shot. Very uncharacteristic. That he just walked right into it. That should have been nearly a free kill. He's going to pick up 1 there, and Electronic is here to try and help him out, but stops at the 1. And Electronic is going to get shot down. And Boomich, no need to even show up for this. There's nothing that could be achieved at this point in time. So I don't know. I'm very confused. That is... Especially that first shot. Normally you'd never expect Simple to miss that.
Well, Flamey just left the game, and this is a pro match, so I'm not going to say, like, oh, you just rage quit. But
Probably not.
We've lost Flamey. So we'll see if he gets back in here. You know, how it usually goes in pugs when you're getting blasted like this is, you know, it's not uncommon for somebody to just bail.
It's like, let me just restart. It's going to be, it'll be better.
BRB, and never comes back. 11 kills for Config, though. So, like, we're putting a lot of focus on Simple, as he is pretty much the heavy hitter on Navi, barring Electronic, right? But on the other side, if we're going to be talking about the star player that we're going to be keeping an eye on, who's going to be carrying the heavy load and who we expect to top frag for the team, it's got to be Config. And right now, he's up there, top fragging on the server with 11 kills. So, I mean, if we can count on Config here for Complexity, they are going to have so much to work with. Complexity. BlameF is just going to be, you know, just rubbing his hands together like, sweet, okay, I've got all the tools I need. Let's get into this. Yeah, I mean, you did point. I think it's probably a combination of the map, and then I think you know, like a bit of a cold start. I don't want to read too much into it just yet.
But,
Navi have got Nuke coming up next.
We've got new contact, but I still want to say I'm kind of shocked that they're not trying more things. Now, Boomich making this jump across here and trying to be a little bit proactive. This is the most aggressive that we've seen Navi yet in any of these rounds. This is the most forward they've been on the map. So I appreciate that, and it's going to work out for at least a kill on Config. That's pretty good news, and there's no one there to trade it. Yugi doesn't want to risk it. He does have the bomb and an AWP, so he doesn't want to try and get into that fight too early, but great. I'm shocked that it's taken 11 rounds for them to actually try to just get, a little bit of a lead on complexity in any of these rounds here.
Yeah, and with a rifle as well, actually. So I mean, this is just a half buy coming in here from Navi, and this is the round that they get aggressive. So Config is going to be kicking himself a little bit, and BlameF too, maybe just not being ready enough at top mid to deal with any aggression this round. That's kind of that guessing game that you're in as the in-game leader. You got to figure it out, and sometimes you call and it doesn't quite work. But they are going to be giving up mid now that they've shown some presence here and they've kept Navi honest. The rest of complexity, they're going to be gathering up over here towards A, and it looks like they have all the nades. They can just get in here. Well, no, they don't actually. What? Where are all their smokes?
They're a little bit low on the smokes, but they have Molotovs for Electronic, and
they have no smokes.
He can't put them out, so the problem for Electronic is one good Molotov on him. Yeah, that's it. He's at least going to be forced up the ladder. But they know not to check the shadow the same way that they would have. There's a deep Molotov to try and block off Simple on that AWP. And just those grenades alone could be a real issue. Now, nice shot, Electronic with a massive double kill. That CZ 75 coming in, and maybe a little bit sloppy as well on the side of Complexity. Here comes the flank in, the M4 of Boomich, and he's just a couple of seconds away from clearing up this round. Yeah, attempted plant there, but Rush, even if he got that kill, would not have had the time to actually win the round. So Navi pick it up with just an M4 and an AWP, and then that CZ 75. And I mean, Complexity, just a slight mistake. They'd thrown the right grenades. They probably should have been able to do a better job against Electronic there.
Without a doubt. And that's just how lethal the CZ-75 is, though, dude. It's like instant headshots. Just it's the pocket machine gun. You give a guy a break like that, and he is just going to take it. So, but that's, again, Complexity slowing it down, and this is where you can start to see that maybe they need, it's tough. They've had like, what, 6 days of practice coming into this, Yugi, and when you start slowing down the round and things get a little confusing, maybe that's where they don't have something reliable to fall back on, is where you can see that they can start to struggle. That's a key second round on the board now for Navi. And, well, as far as Navi are concerned, I mean, it's just, we're not looking for it to mirror, but I mean, 16-6 loss on the first map on Inferno yesterday against Liquid. They're down 9-2 right now on Mirage.
It's rough. It's a bit of a rough beginning. Wondering if
more of the same here. Is that what we can expect from Navi?
You have to hope not, because they are rated as, well, top team in the world for sure.
Well, they're currently ranked number 3.
Yeah.
And they have the number 2 player in the world.
There we go. There's going to be a lot of angry people. Config goes down, but JKS and BlameF are right behind, and Simple got tagged earlier, so he's kind of low on health. Flamey's over by the ticket booth, just waiting for a chance. He's going to get flashed and peeked right afterwards. And again, you want to fight for this, but how? 2 versus 4. You don't have really any of the tools, and it's a nice little setup there. Flash and kill. Simple goes down. Perfecto makes a run for it, and it's going to be a 10th round for Complexity. They're just doing everything real well at the moment.
Well, you notice the change of pace, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit more snappy. Like, that's what BlameF is realizing. It's like if we start slowing down too much, Navi, they're the kings of slow. This is playing into their wheelhouse. We need to be a bit more punchy here. We need to pick up the pace a little bit. And, well, that clearly worked very well for them, because they are just going to get a very nice round. And also, if they can group together, let's say this is the beginning here where missed opportunity. And also, the grouping here was just solid. Always trade frags all day long. That's what you need here. Good spacing on that T side, and if you move together as connector, you're going to be trading it. But yeah, that was Simple, just blind and dead.
But also looking at almost a while, BlameF goes up with a bomb, but all of those kills, and even the one that Config in the middle there, where he sort of dinked Simple, they were all combined with the flash setup. There was flashbang behind everything that happened in that round. So, just those are pretty fundamental elements to have in any round. But it's still kind of shocking how often that is lacking. So some good basic teamwork coming up right now for the T side. 13th round coming up.
13th round, yeah. It's kind of tough to get a read on that sort of thing. I mean, this is still a map that has been played a lot by Complexity in the last 2 months on officials.
Yeah.
This will be like the 9th time that they play it. but they haven't been winning it. So that's the rough thing. After their after the loss against Vitality yesterday, they're 3-8, or 3 wins out of 8 on this map. Not pretty.
No, I mean, you know, you think maybe that would, maybe that's what gave some confidence to Navi actually leaving it in here, but I guess maybe that was a mistake. Perfecto with a couple of kills. Yugi's going to take down Simple, and it's a 3-on-3. BlameF is hanging around over at Connector, and he's going to take down Boomich, and that's sort of the power of doing this so early on. Now, the bomb is down in the site, and it's a 2-on-2, so the battle is not really done yet. Electronic sneaking in, and they know where Electronic was because he got the kill on BlameF. Health advantage, certainly for Complexity, and the Molotov will do the work. Either it was going to force him out and they were looking for that, or it just straight catches him. So now it's all on Perfecto to try and see if he can maybe bring this back home. He's already got the triple kill. Oh, running out of bullets, though. That's a problem. And now Deep Nade nearly takes him down. The C set, it saved him once before, but this time it feels like it's even more important. They look in that third round. It's not going to happen. JKS will take him down instead, and it will be 11 on the board for Complexity. And JKS is 12-3. So, I mean, they're all doing very well.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're all doing so well. But this pocket strat that they've got, I mean, they've clearly at least put a little bit of work in here because they've had nothing but success getting onto the B site using this strategy so far. So, BlameF calling it again.
Yeah. And again, with him hanging around the middle of the map, so he's off on his own. Remember when they hit the A-bomb site? He was in top mid alone. Mm-hmm. It's just seems to be what he likes, what he's enjoying. Some aggression coming out, which, again, I've been sort of begging Navi to try and do this, but, oh, I can't believe he hit that. He was running forward away from the grenade. He knew it was coming. They do put an end to Boomich, but that was actually very cool.
And, well, now Navi don't have anything to work with. Electronics on the flank. Config is watching. Woo! Gets his head ripped off immediately.
Guess that worked at range, the MP9. Fair play.
Yeah, what is that? Long-range MP9 and still? All right.
Yeah, wild running, more or less. I don't know. Can't explain it. Trying not to think about it.
Well, let's see. These guys need to play together right now. That's the key thing here for Complexity, is that they just need to stick together and put themselves in a position to trade off of each other. Simple is trying to get close with that Deagle, and we'll see. He has put himself in a nasty position. He could just really ruin Complexity now. He's made it just in time. Yugi and Rush a second too late.
Still got 45 seconds, and they actually have Molotovs to check all of these things, but I guess at this point, they're probably thinking, well, they haven't heard us. They don't know that they can't go to B right now, and no one will find out.
Oh, sick.
So, yeah, they're just going to keep sneaking and making no noise. This is really, really cool. Because normally, I think you could have justified if they just show up at the A-bomb side of the ramp and throw the common grenades to check all the corners, and then, but that obviously, that does immediately signal anyone in the area that, yep, we're here, we're going to go for it. Now it's going to be a bit of a shock. I think Electronic is now flanking, well, no one, but in his own mind, he's thinking, yeah, we've got them sandwiched in, and now they're realizing, wait. They might have to look at the demo before they even find out exactly how that happened. Really well played, really cool for Complexity, and I mean, there's a rifle being picked up. Simple's looking for another one. There must be one on the ground somewhere that he could get, but they're going to be so far away. They don't have armor on Simple, and they're not going to have a kit. I'm not even sure if this makes sense. There's a 15th round coming up. Yeah, maybe just a Deagle, but surely there's a rifle somewhere on the ground that he could have stolen up in the apartments. This is never going to work. I mean, it's more about the time, right?
Yeah, and just making it. I mean, Yugi's going to get out of here on time as well. He'll save that AWP for the next round. Not that it matters, because they all have money on Complexity's side. But, you know, that's still, this is just the all-out chaos that I think you were talking about earlier in the half, Anders, where you kind of want to see them apply that pressure on the CT side, get in here, play some aggressive game. And that was Boomich with the D double up in Palace to start things off. So if we could have seen more of that from Navi at the beginning, where they're just sacking up and getting into the fight early in the rounds and not letting Complexity play their game, we may be looking at a different scoreline. But now it's too little too late. 12-2.
It's so shocking that we haven't really seen it tried at all. They're doing it this time, and Flamey's at least going to get a kill. I'm shocked that he did.
Yeah.
That was him from up on the scaffolding actually picking up that shot, so I'd love to see that from his point of view. Well done anyway. 4-on-4 now. And, yeah, putting a little bit of pressure on and at least, you know, trying to see if they can make this uncomfortable for Complexity. Rush with a nice win, though, against Boomich is going to swing things back in their favor. And now they have time. They can relax, wait, and see what Navi do.
Exactly. I mean, Simple was thinking of rotating over towards B, but now he's gone over into mid, so trying to work with Perfecto here. And Electronic is very close as well. So these guys are thinking that there's going to be a mid presence. But now it is shaping up to be an A hit, and Simple has misread this. He's heading over towards the B site, and he is going to be over here with Perfecto. Electronic even working his way into mid now. They are going to be out of position here. If Complexity hit this bomb site now, nobody from Navi is here to greet them. Navi are getting this information. You can see Electronic, he's trying to hightail it back up here, but he may have missed his timing. Complexity are going to be out.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough. I mean, they have a lot of grenades as well on the T side. They can probably block off that AWP on Simple. They should be able to. Electronic's going to sneak in a kill. That's pretty well done. Electronic actually following that up even. Yugi finally comes into play. He's going to be jumping back over the flames to try and see if he can find one more. No bomb hunt yet, and 25 seconds on the clock, but it's been evened out. A little bit of a chance here, maybe for Navi to snag a third round. Simple goes down to JKS. It looked again like the kind of flick that we would normally see him hit almost every single time. And there's going to be a bomb plant here, even if the clock is run a little bit low. So now it's all on Electronic. He's already got the double, but he's going to have to do even better than that to try and just do something for his team. It's going to be the... Whoa! Yugi ran right into it. The spray control from Electronic there, and a quad kill to get that third round.
Electronic is still individually a threat. And I mean, right now, he's the only one in double digits. He's doubling the runner-up on Navi. Boomich and Perfecto sitting at 8 kills. Electronic at 16.
Yeah, out-fragging everyone on Complexity 2. Let's see if that continues into the second half after the break. And we are back after a bit of a shocking first half. 12-3 in favor of Complexity. Up against Navi here in the first map of the best of 3. It's on Mirage, which admittedly not really a common map for Navi at the moment. And Complexity have played it, as you pointed out, a fair bit more. Maybe not with a win rate that you would want, but still definitely more experienced than Navi. And maybe that is what shows. Maybe it's something else. We're not quite sure at the moment. Electronic is the only one that's really showing up to play for Navi, and actually outfragging everyone else as we ended on the first half here. He's 16 kills. That's better than anyone on even Complexity side. So yeah, he's gonna need a lot of backup.
He's gonna need a lot of backup, but dude, like, I'm really impressed with Rush's performance so far. 100 ADR right now, sitting at 13 kills, 3 assists. It's like, whatever's going on with Rush right now, happening during the break, more of that.
Yeah, Simples here, but they line up for a bit of a double. Yugi and Blameth getting a kill each. The bomb is being planted, though, so that's kind of good news. Electronic is trying to make sure that no one is coming through the window either. Let's see if they can do this retake. There is no kit currently picked up. I don't know if JKS had one, but they're going to need to find that and pick it up and then try and go for it. No smokes either to smoke the bomb and then defuse. And actually in a pistol round, that is a really, really big deficit. Even if they have this 4-on-3, the fact that they can't smoke the bomb means it's just going to be a tricky scenario. Now they've picked up the kit on Yugi. That's something. Simple fighting away, and he's going to get one more kill. That's not bad at all. And let's see if they can find their way on. Yeah, this is the problem with not having the smoke. They're just sitting ducks out here. Boomich continues, swings into the open to take the fight, and he'll get the headshot at the end for a nice triple. And Navi, they pick up the pistol.
They pick up the pistol, and that actually makes a big difference for them. They did not have any pistol wins on their CT side. Now on the T side, they're keeping that streak alive, Anders. Pistol planted and everything looking hunky-dory.
This is good news. I mean, Simple leaving. I mean, he's up to 5 kills, and that was with the 2 that he just got in that round. I mean, the whole story right now is out of control. It doesn't really fit the narrative, although...
Do you think that this is like just Navi at the beginning? It's a fight, and they're kind of being boastful. They tied a hand behind their back. That hand is Simple. They're just fighting one-handed, you know. But then eventually they manage to untie that left hand. They wiggle it out, and all of a sudden Simple comes alive, and now they've got 2 hands, and you know you got Blame going Nani, and just whole thing changes.
Oh man, I would love it if that was. And usually, normally, I'm into conspiracy theories, so normally this would be right up my alley. But even I can't get on board with that. Even I'm not crazy enough to think that.
Listen,
I don't understand. This is the problem for me with being, you know, excited about Navi, is that you have to ride this train where every once in a while you get games like these and you just don't understand what is even going on. Sure. And then you start to think, oh, maybe, I don't know, I'm over it. It's too, I don't know what they're doing. And then they show up and they play really well. And then you're like, all right, I'm convinced. Let's go, more of this and it'll be really solid. But then it goes, it's been this way for a long time.
Yeah. That's why I picked Complexity, man.
Well, looks like you picked the right day. Let's see. I mean, right now it's looking rock solid, isn't it? It is only map 1. That's the
careful.
only other thing that we need to obviously mention. There is a second map at the very least coming up. JKS hiding inside with a CC. Very smooth work, but a few too many angles to also pick up Perfecto. Boomich gets downed by Yugi. So now 3 versus 2 and 20 seconds. Don't fight. Just make sure they don't plant the bomb. Just keep peeking a little bit and firing a couple of bullets. Yeah, well, especially if they're bullets like that. Rush just connecting with Perfecto perfectly.
What is going on, Anders?
They're getting
What is going on?
slaughtered. This is mental, isn't it?
Look at Blamef, can't even believe it. Like, what is happening? That's the second round.
I mean,
You have the guns. You just walk onto the site. Rush. Do something, Navi. How do you lose to the clock? You don't even get shot. You lose to the clock, pretty much.
yeah, it's outrageous, isn't it? 13-4. They're not impressed. They're not happy. No one's happy right now.
No one's
Navi
happy right now. If you're a Navi fan, I mean, dude, I don't get it. I don't know how James can do it, man. He's just constant. He's just constantly. He's on that train. Ride or die.
Surely the trick is to really enjoy it when they're winning. Like, you do make up for it and just, you know.
The highs are highs and the
Yeah,
lows are...
you really bathe in it when they're doing well. I think that's got to be the key, right?
Well, right now, I mean, this is absolutely brutal. It is a little bit similar to what we saw yesterday, though, so I'm not going to act too surprised because Navi got their heads taken off by Liquid on Inferno yesterday, 16-6, in the first map of their best of 3. And then they went on to Nuke, which is a far better map for Navi,
Yeah.
and lost that 16-14. So, you know, it's like, okay, Navi right now, it's almost like yesterday, all over again. First map, they're just getting battered. And then we are just going to be looking towards their map pick, which is Nuke coming up.
Well, I'm ready for it. I'm sure Complexity are as well. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe they can swing it around and mentally just, you know, reset themselves. Yeah, right. We're not doing that again. We're back to not playing Mirage. You know, pull it right out. I mean, maybe that's just it. They say, you know what, none of that. We're just going to win Nuke and then go on to you know, continue trying and fight. Because obviously this is not the version of Navi that really anyone is expecting or maybe or really thinking about when they think of Navi as a team. Simple, a little bit of a chance there for a 1D, but he's not going to pick it up. And Inferno is the final map as well. So I mean, this could also be real interesting, but 14-4.
So, I mean, yeah, it's real interesting is the correct way to put it. Just taking a look real quick. I mean, it's like, because Navi right now, it's like, oh, just take Mirage out, right? But they don't play Vertigo either. And
yeah,
but it's like Complexity don't play Vertigo really. They have one map on that in the last 2 months, and they lost it. So,
but Inferno surely most teams can play, right?
Inferno Complexity played it once and they won.
Okay, there we go, 100% win rate.
100% win rate. Clearly their best map.
Well, that was a quick round, and well, for good reason. Navi didn't really have anything to fight with. So 15-4, 11 map points to come for Complexity. You know, be amazing if they fought it back into overtime. We'd all appreciate that. But yeah, right now it's the wrong kind of interesting. It's the kind of interesting like you open the hood of your car and it's just all messed up, and you're like, this is interesting. Like, you know, it's not the kind of interesting we're looking for here out of Navi.
Oh man, that's just not the way to describe it. Yeah, it's so brutal here from Navi. Well, at least it looks like they wanted to try and accelerate here and put some pressure at top mid. They ate that flash, though, so that's going to slow things down. Yugi's here with the AWP looking for a shot. He's not going to get it. Electronic gets the headshot on him instead, so man advantage for Navi. And please just tell me you keep up the pace here, Navi. Just put the pressure on. Just go, fight.
Well, it's Config. He was listening to you. He was like, yeah, I'll go and fight. I might not be on that team, but, you know, I'm doing it anyway. Simple is ready, though. Took him right down. 3 versus 4, and every chance right now to start to put together a couple or more rounds, which you know, we love to repeat. Even if you are going to lose a map, you know, still you could start to get some players in there. Electronic is playing well. I think Perfecto is starting to get up there as well, isn't he? Well, Perfecto and Boomich doing a little bit, but you want Flamey and Simple to wake up a little bit more for that second map. So even if you only manage to run a couple of rounds back, who knows if it'll make a difference, just even for those players to get in there a little bit. JKS is over at the ramp on the A-bomb site, and Blamef is quite far back. There could be a real interesting scenario here. If JKS gets a kill and falls back, Blamef can actually throw a Molotov behind him to stop anyone from following JKS, and then they can both focus on those A apartments. So it's a, you know, a little bit of a combination, but Well, guess it can't work out. Now, Blameth is still here, and he does have that Molotov, so that's why I was wondering, you know, if there was going to be like a timing thing. Rush goes down, leaving Blameth entirely on his own. It's the clock that I'm really thinking about with that Molotov, but now that he's alone, I don't know if it's really going to make a difference. He can't obviously block the entire bomb site with one grenade. So, yeah, he's just waiting here for a long time. Best case scenario, he just ninja defuses to win the round. Just, they go check everywhere.
I was kind of hoping that he would just spray into that smoke and, you know, just get that kill on simple, stop the bomb plant.
Yeah, listen, go for it.
Now, yeah, he's been spotted.
All is lost.
It's a hard life.
I'm very curious why he didn't, because he still had the, even if JKS didn't get that kill, he still obviously had the info that there were people coming, and he actually knew that both were coming. So he had some idea, and he had an HE. He could have easily, you know, thrown the HE, Molotov, Tetris, like try to create a bit more space there, or and again, just even buying time, but none of that.
No, a little bit of a perhaps. I mean, just one of those rounds doesn't click.
Yeah, and we're sort of nitpicking here anyway. They are at 15-5, so I'm not really complaining about Blameth not winning a 1 versus 4.
I'm just more curious, like what's going to be the decision making here? Nice nade to the top of mid. Boom, it should need some damage there. Blameth going to give up that ground.
Maybe something worth pointing out, because you know we were whinging all first half about Navi not being aggressive, but Complexity have a double up setup, and actually in that case, you don't really have to be aggressive. Yugi, you know, is over there in those B hallways, so he's got some forward vision. But when you got the double up setup, it's maybe less required for Complexity. But we'll see if they switch into it. If it goes on long enough, maybe they will try and show us some of what Navi really didn't do at all ever, except for when they had some pistols, and then it seemed to actually work pretty well. So
sure, I think right now Complexity are just looking for the turret approach. Get that defense established. Nice nade again. Just whittling down Navi here in mid. A little bit of pressure, but they have not been giving any targets, Navi. Instead, now it's going to be that B hit. And Yugi, he's posted up with the AWP. If he gets one kill and backs off, I mean, he's going to be cooking with gas. This is looking good. Boomich trying to force him out into the open. And Boomich onto the side. He's been spotted. There's the kill, but he did his job, Yugi. Now it's on Rush, and he gives himself up for free.
yeah, they didn't even, I don't think they even realized Boomich was that deep in. So really well done. Sneaking through and, yeah, locking down the bomb site. Well done. I mean, that was a very simple strategy in a lot of ways. There was nothing super deep going on, but they executed it to perfection. So
what I wonder is communication. Like, is in those high intensity moments, right? Is Yugi used to being on a English speaking team? Is he going to be able to communicate as crisply as he would with, say, a Danish roster, right?
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing where you're kind of wondering, because Rush, he was kind of peeking. It looked like he knew that Boomich was there.
Yeah,
but it was a little hesitant. It wasn't quite sure. Wasn't very quick either to back Yugi up.
No, definitely a weakness in the defense. There's no doubt about it. Oh, actually catching a kill towards the end.
Blameth is kind of cooling off here. I'm curious, what's going on, buddy?
This position here for Yugi, I really love this position. Now, it didn't work out this way, but if people don't peek, close to you, but they're a little bit further back, and you shoot them, they fall back into the couch that's there, and it's meant to be. I like that.
Well, Rush has kind of cooled off a little bit in terms of his ADR.
Yeah. I'm sure, I mean, the only trap to avoid right here, if you are on the complexity side, is the feeling that you've already won the game and everyone can just, like, take a little moment to relax. I really feel like it's been a very, very long time since I've seen a team lose to that. It feels like that was a very 2014-15 type, feel when people would sort of like, yeah, we're up so much ahead, just don't even worry about it. I feel like that doesn't happen nearly as often any longer, so sure, everyone has grown up, maybe a little bit from that.
It is still one of the hardest things to do, to just end a game when you're so far ahead.
It definitely can be. Well, now especially that they've run out of cash, so they've got the AWP and the M4, and trying to be as aggressive as they can with it, which I really appreciate. Again, trying to take some of the initiative away from the T side. It's a good idea. Oh, but so far, they've just lost Yugi.
Well, they got the smoke wall up on A side, so this is going to draw the attention over here from Complexity. JKS is still hanging out in mid, though, so that M4 isn't going to be in position to deal with Navi when they start pushing over, and Perfecto has done a marvelous job of selling this fake. He has... Config gave up. He gave up. He's wrapping back around to CT on A, and that is as Rush dies in a fire, but the damage is done. Blameth is caught, and both remaining players here for Complexity are out of position.
Oh! He's actually running, and I feel like we've seen that a fair bit with the Eagles up in the A hallways in the previous half. Looks like he hardly even stops. By the way, can we just take a moment to appreciate, you know, that well-decorated Christmas tree in the background, still up there? I don't know what the rules are.
Man of taste.
Look, this is very well done.
Although I think they're supposed to come down around the 12th or the 16th of January, so he's kind of pushing it.
I don't know what the rules are.
But, at the same time, I mean, Christmas trees are awesome, so just keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got sort of you know, pink ornaments on there. I haven't seen that a lot, but why not?
We just need reminders of good things, you know. So it's like, keep your Christmas tree. My Christmas tree just started dying, so unfortunately I had to take it down. But
yeah,
you know, I don't have one of those plastic ones.
Yeah, we have one of those as well for a similar reason. Also, because, you know, like, I don't know, kids will drag it all over the house and it's going to be a mess. For my sanity, we've done that. A single AK on config and otherwise just deagles across the board here, and now it's a 15-7 type scoreline. So, you know, again, I'm not really optimistic that Navi are going to do much here on Mirage, but they're certainly, you know, waking up a bit. They're doing something at the very least. Config and Yugi here in a, well, now a 1-on-3 for config, and he never really got to the bomb site in time to have any real impact here, so I respect it if he wants to go for a 1 versus 3 win, although he's just going to get stabbed in the back by Simple. Fair play.
Did Simple even crack a smile? That's what I'm wondering. You know, I don't think we've got him on camera though, so that's unfortunate.
No.
Well,
you know, we were bringing up a conspiracy earlier, but what if it wasn't even Simple playing at the beginning? Have you thought about that? We don't have him on camera. He's supposed to be the best player in the world, or the second best, depending on what fan faction you're a part of. And then suddenly, you know, like, I'm just saying.
Now he's knifing people, starting to hit shots. He's got 9 kills.
Yeah.
All right. I see where you're going with this, Andy.
I'm just putting it out there that
he just phones it in on the first map and then shows up for the second.
Could be. There could be something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's clearly woken up. He just needs that. He just needs time for that coffee to kick in.
Maybe he's playing like a, you know, just, I don't know, fulfilling some other obligation, you know, just doing something else. He's got like his dad or something playing for him instead.
I mean, he does own Navi after all, so it's like...
Italian. He's just preoccupied.
Man, he's got to do business. But right now, I mean, Complexity have got to do some business. So they're down a man in this round. It's not the end of the world, but it does feel like they've kind of lost that steam now that they actually had to close out the map. Nice HE, though. Onto Electronic and Perfecto. That's money. Well, BlameF and JKS, this is going to be it. They've got the crossfire established. Can they get anything good out of it? Oh, JKS not able to find the kill, but BlameF will pick one.
That was a nice save from Simple. He actually, you know, rescued his teammate there, at least for a second. Bomb, 40 seconds, it's dropped there on the bomb site. Rush will pick up Perfecto. Now it gets a bit weird because who's going to go and plant the bomb? They don't have any more smokes left on the Navi side, so they can't block off all of the entrances into this A bomb site. So planting the bomb is fairly risky. And actually, I mean, look at that. There's nobody even covering him. If someone had snuck in from the B bomb site there, it would have been done. 3-on-3, the bomb goes down, but again, that was high risk, and let's see if they can find a way to hold on to this Navi, or if it's going to be the end of the run for them here. Nice shot from Yugi, taking down Simple through the smoke. He was over at the sandwich, and he's going to get found, so suddenly it's Flamey and Boomich left with the AK-47s, and Complexity have some tools to do this. They have smokes they can put on top of the bomb, or they can just go and fight them like that. Boomich getting a kill on BlameF inside of the smoke. The defuse is already happening. Oh, a headshot, and Boomich will find him, and they will get a 9th round. That was real close.
Nuts. And yeah, showing some... I think they've cooled down a little bit here on Complexity's side. I'm very curious. There's usually an emotional team that shows a lot of very serious faces over on Complexity, but I'm also a little puzzled why they did not try and put some pressure when that bomb was getting planted. 3-on-3, they're on the site, and when that bomb's planted, it's a 3-on-2. There's no nades for Navi to work with. A little bit of an opportunity there. So like some hesitation from Complexity where they're not necessarily just going for the jugular when they should. So that's actually prompted. Yeah, maybe they're onto it here where Kita has to have a say, and they need to actually start to having a little bit of a chat about it, because Complexity calling their first tactical timeout of the half. Of the map, rather.
Yeah, well, they haven't really needed it yet, but, you know, 15-9. You've got to respect, or you got to think about the idea that not all of these rounds will obviously be buy rounds, because they're on the CT side. You don't get that bomb plant bonus for good reasons, and it means you, or maybe every other round, or maybe a little bit more, but close to that will be really effective rounds. So even if you're up, you know, 6 rounds, it doesn't feel quite that way. I'm real curious what's going on here. Complexity, yeah, this is a bit of a half buy with pistols. Just trying to see if they get something done. Perfecto is going to get the trade on Yugi, and the rest of them are hanging out in middle, waiting for more action, maybe except for Electronic out here. Yeah, spotting them, and I think this is just good from Navi. Slow it down. Make sure you don't throw it away to pistols. That would really suck, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That would be worst case scenario. And yeah, Complexity could try and just throw some Hail Mary haymakers out there, you know, just hoping to knock you out. And Navi are going to be ready for that sort of thing. So this aggression coming out here from Complexity, Navi saw it coming.
Missed could have maybe had it into the window there. That would have, I think, that would have really messed up Blamef. But they're bringing that AK back all the way to top mid though, which I think is a good idea. Why leave it laying around in the middle? Got to clean up and make sure they don't ever pick it up.
This is looking like they want to wind up on the B site here in a moment. Navi, they've got Electronic posted up in apartments. Rush is going to be on short. He's got the angle, turns away for the flash. They were lined up, but Simple's too quick. Takes him out, and that's the B side open for business. Blamef and JKS on the other side over towards A. And while Navi now, not too sure. I mean, well, they can't really screw this up. Just get the bomb planted, and this is a round that we are going to be kind of riding off and focusing on the next one. Blamef, I think it's like more so than just trying to get exits. I hope that he just kind of backs off and saves this couple. Oh, nice headshot on Simple though.
See, they're looking for the AK.
Looking for the AK, yeah.
Just need to look behind the cart there, the barrels or whatever it is.
That was a nice little detail there from Navi.
Yeah, I mean, it all counts. Given one of those AK-47s in the wrong hands on the CT side, that could be pretty painful. You see it right there. He's doing horrible detective work at the moment.
Now he's thinking, if I can get up here and get this AWP, this would be fantastic.
Looking for guns in all the wrong places.
Looking for love all the wrong.
Appreciate it. It's a reference exclusively for old people.
Or if you listen to the radio, I don't know.
15. The fact that you say listening to the radio makes you an old person sometimes.
That's also a good point. Yeah.
That's hardly a thing. Well,
Not
it's
anymore.
15-10. I mean, it was what, 15-4? 11 map points, I heard myself saying. Now we're down to 5. Should be just a walk in the park. Just get a little bit more, throw it into overtime, and then, I mean, who knows what happened at that point in time.
Proceed to crush Complexity.
Yeah, Real Simple is back playing, not whoever the fake one was from earlier. So
yeah, he's starting to wake up. He's into double digits now, 12 kills.
now, if we could get him on camera now that he's playing well, it's official. Then it is a real conspiracy. Camera off, and it's not simple. I'm just saying, see if we can make that happen. Feed the madness. Boomich, that is a nice kill. And he actually just walks backwards into Config, who just pulled out his pistol. That's unbelievable. Rush trying his best. I mean, it's a brave idea to try and take that fight 1 versus 4, essentially. Did a good job on the first one and did some damage to Flavey, but couldn't follow it up. So we'll be an 11th round here for Navi. They are doing very well. They have won, the last 6, 7 in a row, and just going to continue. Yeah, the last 6 in a row, and this is going to be the 7th.
This is. So I'm being told that we have Simple on camera. It's just that he, like, for whatever reason, it keeps going on and off.
Yeah, well, I'm not buying that.
Yeah. I mean, it's all going to add up. I'm just feeding fuel to the fire right now.
Unfortunately, the video evidence was deleted. Like, we just lost the hard drive. It's very strange, yeah.
It's inconclusive. And would not stand. But as far as Simple's concerned, he is, in fact, here. And we are just memeing, guys. Chill.
Well, now he's on it.
Config, what is going on with Config, though, man? He is in his head right now, and somebody needs to break him out of that prison because he is. I mean, he's got it in him to dominate. He's up there with 19, right? So it's not like he's been totally asleep, but get past the 20 mark, man.
Oh yeah, you're actually right. He did start off really hot as well, and
you know, you're sitting there good. Like,
still a good game for him, obviously, but yeah, especially now when you start thinking about it, was just one round that you need. You just need one good config round where, you know...
And you know that's what he's telling himself. That's the issue with config right now.
Putting pressure on him.
You know that's what he's telling himself, right? Like, oh, come on, why can't I just do it one round? He's just going to keep getting more and more frustrated. He's just going to keep getting more and more in his head. And the bowels, right? You know, just getting getting deeper and deeper into that pit where sunlight does not reach.
Hopefully not, right? You want to, you know, still I think Config, you know, somewhere in the middle of his career at the moment. But, you know, over time you want to see him get better and better at the mental game too, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the aim portion of it. Looks like they wanted to go pretty quickly towards the bomb site here, Navi, although the Molotov has slowed them down. JK is going to go towards Shadow, and he's going to need a lot of backup. Yugi's there, but with the AWP, he walks right into Simple, and JKS, I don't know how you get out of this. He's smoked and Molotov, and there's chaos everywhere. It's shocking that he's even still alive, and somehow, I'm not even sure they know where he is. What is going on in this round? Boomich is all the way into jungle, and now CT spawn. He's flanking both Blamef and Rush while this is happening. Now, JK's going to get a kill, but I'm not even sure it's going to matter. They must be so confused. Everyone's confused. JKS should have been dead, but once he wasn't, maybe you could have surprised them, but then Boomich, he just straight infiltrated everyone.
We're going to get the replay here again. This is Simple finding the kill on Yugi as Yugi tries to swing. Quick shot on Yugi. That's a tough break. But, okay, that's how they ended up getting JKS. Clever from Electronic.
I'm actually sad that Boomich just doesn't get, you know, a triple kill in that round. He set that up so nicely. That was wild.
What is even going on? Well, that was where Navi, you know, the slowing it down and allowing Boomich time to work. That's where the magic happened, clearly.
It was, yeah. I mean, there was just way too much confusion. Everyone had lost track of almost everyone at that point in time. So back to the Deagles and a UMP on Blamef. Yugi got blown up in the window. And they're just playing this one slowly, and I do not blame them for it. I mean, almost no one should be alone at this point in time. Make sure you don't get overwhelmed. Don't give them anything to work with.
Well, I mean, this is where can we just start? Like, if I'm Complexity at this point, is it like can we just start coming up with some gimmicks, like multi-nades to top mid, multi-nades to pit, like I don't know, some kind of gimmick that's going to be completely unexpected and that can catch Navi. Well, okay, I mean, right now the default kind of approach is not working for Complexity, and they've been doing a lot of it for many rounds in a row now.
Well, I mean, I'm ready to recycle my complaint from the first half, which is where is the attempted aggression?
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely call it, you know, not even gimmicks. I mean, yeah, you could do that too, but just it's nice to have like an ace up your sleeve to say, hey, why don't we go double push into the apartments, win a fight, or, you know, triple push to top mid. These are all common things. It's not like this is way outside. In fact, this is how some teams play Mirage almost exclusively.
I mean, Simple is setting up a lot for that. He's actually right here at the stairs, right? So he's getting that gap to top mid with that AWP. So clearly, it's like, you know, obviously, it's not obvious in the sense that where it's like Complexity. If they just ran this, it would work. Navi are aware of this. They're like, at some point, they're going to need to get aggressive, boys, and so let's play around that for sure. But I mean, it's still worth the gamble to just go for it on the extremities, maybe. Just try and get aggressive somewhere. The problem is that Complexity, they've won three rounds this half, so they don't exactly have that. Well, this worked, guys, and it's been long enough. So let's just run this one strat that worked really well. And make it happen again.
Throwing out, you know, maybe another pitch even if you didn't want to push aggressive, because you're right, you could obviously be running into a waiting Navi. Maybe don't show up in middle for the first 20 seconds, but then you have one guy from B on catwalk, one guy in window, one guy in connector, and then you just count to three, maybe even two in connector. You count to three, and then you flash over, and you just crunch the middle of the map, like a delayed mid-take. Those are all possibilities too. That doesn't have to involve pushing up, and you're counting on Navi essentially being caught by the flashbangs. There are just many options that to me it looks like Complexity have not really tried to pull just yet. Now, Config is in middle really quickly with one of those AWPs, and they've got a lot of scopes in this round, so let's see if they can build something. It's 15-13. We're in the 29th round, and somehow Navi are pulling this game back. They need 2 more to get into overtime, and again, I mean, that normally this is where teams lose games, or at least lose maps, when you've made it this far back, and now it's crunch time, and you know every single round is really important, and you start to make mistakes. So let's just see if Navi can keep their cool and not mess this up. Bomb is far back, and being a little bit slow this time, but they do have some mid-control Navi.
And the slow strategy, I mean, is clearly something that's working here. It's playing into Navi's favor. This is playing into Navi's wheelhouse. But Complexity, again, changing rosters and not really having too much success on this map, even with the previous rosters that were constantly shifting. I mean, Complexity, very weak. It's worth pointing out, very weak CT side across 7 maps. Almost 8. I mean, if you want to count Vitality yesterday, that beating. But across 7 maps before that, they had a 38% win rate on CT side. So it was nothing to write home about. It was definitely a side with which they were struggling. And maybe just them not getting, not being able to clinch it here, despite having a tremendous lead, is just showing us, again, their CT side Mirage. It leaves a lot to be desired.
JKS, I mean, yeah, he's going to get the warning, but Blameth, he can't hold him off for the next 20 seconds. Simple's waiting for him, and he's going to connect with a shot. Second kill of the round for him. That opens the whole bomb site up wide open, and Complexity must save these guns. The AUG and the AWP and the rest of Navi should be hunting. When the bomb's down, just go. There's nothing to lose by doing it. They're all in. Boomich going to be catching Config. This is really huge. And I mean, they're going to have the round loss bonus to fight with in the next round. This could actually be overtime. We could be going from 11-4 into, or sorry, 11 to 11-4 into 15-15.
Yes, we could get 11-4 into 15-15, and I'm hoping that Rush dies. Good. Get rid of that op.
I guess 15-4.
Stop going double AWP Complexity. They keep. I mean, they keep going double AWP, which is going to promote slow play, which is going to promote them trying to play turrets. Instead of playing aggressive like we've said that they need to do all half long, just get in there with the aggression. They keep going double off. I'm almost happy to see them without the AWP now, Complexity. Maybe here in the 30th round, they can get aggressive and they can actually start going to try to make some plays here instead of counting on turrets to do the work for them.
Money solved the problem for them, Semler. They just couldn't afford it. So
there we go.
You're gonna get your win.
And look at this. Look at what's happening.
Yeah, they're going to try and see if they go aggressive. Now, Boomich is kind of watching for it. So I would say if you're doing this kind of I like the fact that they're falling back. There is a point at which you don't want to keep pushing it. Now, it's fine to push up and be ready to take the fight, but if you have to run around that corner, maybe not so much. It all comes down to this. The 30th round of Blameth, ready and waiting. He's seen a chance, but he's going to get taken down. Boomich dropping him with the AK-47, and that means mid-control is back in the hands of Navi. I can't believe I've not seen a comeback like this for a very long time. Perfecto waiting for Rush, and now they're trapped and sandwiched in here. This is a big problem just with the MP9 and the FAMAS. How do you get out? Perfecto hunting them at the moment, and it will be Electronic to get that kill on Yugi. JKS in a 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5 actually. Unbelievable scenes as Navi fight their way back into overtime on the very first map from being down 11 rounds. I don't think I've seen anything like this for just a very long time. Unbelievable scenes.
It's when your opponent decides to play your game, Anders, and it's like, here, we're going to give you every opportunity to get back into this game. We're going to do everything we can to make it to play to your strengths. And well, that's just what we saw. Navi, they had the resilience, they had the grit, and when the opportunity was given to them, they didn't miss the chance. They seized it with both hands, and now you've got Simple starting to wake up. He's hitting shots. Electronic, he has got to be the hero for Navi, though. 27 kills at the end of regulation. So he nearly cracks that 30 bomb.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Simple wasn't playing all along. I'm just giving you some of the evidence, and you guys make up your own minds.
Yeah, look, they're their own worst enemies, but I think looking back on this half Complexity, they're going to really regret going for the double AWP and sticking to the double AWP when it wasn't working. That's going to be something that's going to be real frustrating for this team. But let's see. I mean, no time wasted. Straight into it here. And Config is going to hit that shot on Flamey already.
I'm telling you, if they win this round Complexity after having lost 11 in a row or whatever it was, it's a classic. It's an absolute classic. You win the first round in overtime. You think, well, couldn't we just have done that like 5 rounds ago? It would have been all good. All right.
Navi also played very aggressive. Something that they weren't necessarily doing in the regulations.
What? He just completely caught him. Simple running up with the AWP, but he's so lightning fast. Back into a 4-on-4 here. They're really leaning towards that B-bomb side with the defense. So, I mean, if this works out, it's a brilliant call, but obviously the inherent risk is leaving Config alone on this bomb site. So, let's just wait and see. Navi, again, as you pointed out, they're a slow team, so you could end up waiting for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, there's the spot, at least. So Boomich is through, going to try and sell his fate because that bomb is still heading over towards that B apartment. Simple and Perfecto now looking to see if they can catch somebody rotating off the B site. Rush and JKS here, ready for him, and this has got to be, yeah. Rush and Config locking it down. It's all on Simple now, 1v4.
He gets the kill. 30 seconds, though, and they shouldn't be fighting him. Again, everyone just show up, wait for him to try and do something, and Simple knows it. Looking for a bit there. Grenade is not going to take care of JKS, and I think now time has run out to make this play, and Config will take him down. Quad kill on Config to find the round that they needed. Just a round ago, Samla. Just a round ago.
11 times in a row.
It's such a classic, isn't it?
No, it is, but keep in mind, Anders, totally different approach here from Navi in this round.
Yes.
Way more aggressive, ran right in. Like, Complexity are thinking exactly what you just thought, where there's like, could you have not done this for the last 11 rounds and it would have worked perfectly for our strategy?
Yeah.
And instead, it's Navi who are changing it up, and Navi who are the ones who are going to regret that now, because Complexity, they take the lead in overtime, 16-15. We're looking for the first team to hit...
19.
Yeah, 19. Why did I blank? I was about to say 18 rounds, but no, 19 rounds.
Golden rule, never do math on broadcasts.
Indeed, indeed.
It doesn't work out well. 16 to 15. Yeah. We are we're in for a different game from what we were expecting. I was ready to write this off and say, all right, well, Nuke, it's still going to be really interesting, and still think it will be, but I don't know. We were ahead of ourselves. Let's see what Navi can do. Bomb is far back. They're taking mid control, and they are, still in good time. So they're making sure that no one is sneaking up anywhere and finding a way in behind their lines. Deep grenade timing. All right, that's real good timing.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets, but they're just assuming. They've given up mid completely, and Complexity have focused on the extremities. Rush and JKS have set themselves up to get early info from ramp, so that's where they're playing for their info. And in the meantime, Yugi and BlameF are locking down the B site with 2 players here. And Yugi did well in this position, Anders.
He did.
He did well last time. He could find that 1 kill and fall off. Now he's actually got support from BlameF. Now
the problem is, because they're so far up on the A ramp, they have to do this on their own on the B bomb side. Backup will never get here. So either they get all the kills or they're going to lose the round. Not connecting with that one, and the follow-up no scope not hitting either. And they're going to hunt him down here behind the bench. BlameF, he should be dead already. I can't believe that he actually lives that long and does a lot of damage. 3 on 3, and the bomb is going to be planted here. Simple will pick up config, and now, I mean, yeah, you won the first round in the overtime, so you're going to feel really pressured to try and do this. Otherwise, you'd run out of money if you'd lost the first one too, but here you've got a chance to actually go and do it. Rush and JKS, well, now that they lose him, I'm not so sure anymore. And look at the boost here to look over against JKS. It's a very smart play, and he's going to go down to Flamey at the end. So now we even it up and win the second round.
I'm wondering right now, when I'm watching JKS, his aim is not as crisp as usual. He's usually got that real lock-on kind of approach to it, and he's getting a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and having to readjust his aim. It feels like a lot right now. So on an individual level right now, it's looking a little weird from JKS.
Yeah, and he was top fracking, I think, earlier on. And
I mean, it's like they're so even across the board Complexity. There's nobody really lagging behind. They're within, what, 6 frags of each other from top to bottom.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive all on its own, isn't it?
Did math again there, Anders. That's how it worked, though.
Boomich again eating a grenade, taking a bit of damage. But, I mean, the return from Simple, who had 3 kills in the first half, the entirety of the first half. And now he's up to 20, so that's a reasonable return for him.
Oh, from Simple, yeah.
Boomich just try and shoot the orc while jumping mid-air. That is creative, but I'm not sure that's going to work so many times. Simple, though, could be in danger. Tagging him actually through the concrete. It's able to take him down. Yugi will return, and it's a 2 versus 4. Perfecto and Flamey, I don't know, the bomb is far away. They were probably trusting in Simple to win that fight in the middle, and it's hard even to blame them for that. He's been doing very well all of a sudden, so I would probably do the same.
Well, your 2 heavy hitters are now out of the picture, and BlameF has just found the bomb. So he knows, and there's Flamey. And Flamey's dead. Because what can Flamey do? I mean, BlameF is just going to be camping that. He's not expecting anybody back there.
Yeah.
So Perfecto's now in a 1v3. No bomb, 35 seconds, and he's going to get boxed in. Rush already pushed up in an off angle, and he's going to get that kill. So 17-16 at the end of the first half. Impeccable stuff here from Complexity. They were so close to having a perfect CT half in the first round of overtime.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that they've been playing well. Just look at how regulation played out. But both teams have been struggling a lot on their CT sides. We'll see if it's going to be any different in the overtime here for Navi. I feel like we have at least one piece of the puzzle for what could be working out for Navi in terms of being a little bit more forward on their CT side, trying to take some of those fights. Because the problem for me really was that when Complexity were playing the T side, they were just being allowed in so many different instances to just grab middle and do whatever they want. Like, Navi never just knew what was going on at any point. So I just want to see that difference. And, well,
Blade is certainly doing a lot of talking.
Yeah.
And this is Navi's coach. And we had Complexity's coach a second ago, not really saying too much. So I'm curious what's going on over on the Complexity side. Yeah, Akita's here. But, like,
He's doing that nervous
Yeah, he's doing the nervous.
tapping.
Exactly.
Leg going up and down. Yeah.
He has not. I'm told he has not changed. He has not gotten up from that seat for the past 11 months.
Well, surely that's some sort of a record, isn't
It's
it?
got to be. I mean, just the same camera. I mean, coach life, man. You just never stop. Ooh, tack timeout getting called here by Navi as well.
All right.
They got another two, and they can chain them together if they want to get fancy.
If anyone does lip reading in Russian, then now is the time to come up with something. Maybe we'll have to do like they do in American football one day, where they have like, you know, cover in front of them so people can't, you know,
Yeah.
get to that level where it's that.
You want to have the camera on me? Fine, fair enough.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm really curious because I think we have like a very, very good map of how Navi play the CT side. I think we were talking relentlessly about them as they were just losing round after round in regulation. So the question will just be, is it just going to be a repeat of that in overtime, or are we going to see any changes here? I'm real curious, and we're going to find out right now. Second half of overtime coming up. Complexity just need 2 more rounds, and they'll manage to walk away with what to them certainly will feel like a deserved win here on the first map. So far, Simple is at least pushed up. And looks like it's going to be a jump. Oh, this is dangerous. Even against Simple, he can hit those shots, but not this time. And he's going to start to fall back into the bomb side. So heavy lean on the B-bomb side, but I think he's rotating back through middle. And Complexity setting up so far what looks like an A-split.
You know, if he was Zawu, he'd have hit that shot.
You want people to message you on Twitter and hate you, don't you? Anyone who steps into that arena right now is just setting themselves up for massive amounts of hate.
Anders, you and I cast it. Zawu did hit that shot yesterday. So,
I know. You're not wrong.
You know, Simple. Just saying, man. Just saying.
You know, I picked Zawu as the number 1 I'll stick by it. It's fine. But I did also say I think Simple is the best player in the world. You know, if you just take like his top potential, I think Simple.
So now we're really getting into the unquantifiable.
Yeah, I think Simple is in a league completely of his own, in my opinion. But I'll expand on that some other time. 40 seconds in the round. Boomich trying to see if he could spot anyone there at the ramp. Again, they're really far back. They don't have a lot of information. That means they have to win the early fights, and Boomich will. Electronic as well. That's a nice little defense of the A-bomb site, and Config trying to look for Boomich. He knows where he is, but time is running out. 20 seconds for this 2-on-2 as Perfecto goes down. And yeah, this is actually really well played from Boomich. He's just staying hidden, staying far back, and trying to make sure that they have to swing wide into the bomb site to pick him up. Flamey making a lot of noise coming in, and Boomich continuing the fight. A triple for him. Yugi with the no-scope, and 8 seconds on the clock. Yugi has to hit it, and he will! Taking it down and getting a triple to put Complexity once again on map point. That is wild.
That was so sick! Aw, Yugi, that's the moment. That's the moment. It was like earlier on the B site when he missed that shot midair, when he went duck hunting, jumping out. You're like, man, how sick would that have been if they'd have just hit that shot?
Now, I need to see this. Okay, so that happens at 10 seconds. I have no idea why they're fighting him. I know they have him boxed in. Flamey and Boomich. I mean, Boomich played this round so brilliantly, but at that moment, they really should not even be looking for him. They should be trying to just play ring around the rosy and run out the clock. That was, I mean, it's the stress of the situation, no doubt, but that could cost them the map right here.
We'll see if after all of this, Complexity still take this map. That will be monster, and that'll be setting them up to go into Nuke, which is Navi's map pick, which is just going to be sick as well. And Navi are so much better on that map. So if Complexity can take this win here, especially in such a deflating fashion for Navi, it's going to get out of control, Anders.
Yeah, you have to imagine that even a really experienced team like Navi, that will take a minute to recover from if you end up losing in this fashion. Look at the stack on the B-bomb side. It can't get better. They're setting themselves up to win this round perfectly at the moment. Flamey, Simple, and Perfecto. Only thing lacking are counter nades to try and slow them down. So that's the one thing that they don't have at the moment. But Flamey is there, able to take out Rush, no problem. Conflict with a bit of a return. And 50 seconds, shooting at each other inside of the smoke, not really advisable. Conflict goes down, and looks like they're very confused. They're confused almost by their own grenades here. They set up, I think, that smoke to try and get out. I don't think that was from the CT side, so real interesting. And they just get completely shut down. Simple with a double, and I don't know.
That was gross. I don't even know what the hell that was. Whatever. Moving on.
It wasn't pretty, was it?
I mean, well, that was just, I mean, nobody wanted to be the first man out, and then the bomb is the one that commits as well, and so, you know, Config just yeeting himself out there, no nade support, no nothing.
Do you think they were just standing in the smoke doing rock, paper, scissors?
Who goes first? Yeah, no, I need to be the one who gets the kills. Yeah, no, that's just one of those rounds where complexity, somebody needed to just sack up and go as a unit. They needed to just go, and they didn't. So you can't really afford that against the likes of Navi. You need to be decisive. And, well, here we are, a little bit of a change of pace, and they are trying to take advantage of this complexity. It is going to be straight B aggression. Flamey blind, dead already. Perfecto barely staying alive in this, but he gets caught. This is it, complexity. Best chance yet.
And it's Rush again. Remember in regulation how we did this once before alone, just charging the bomb site and winning it? And it's looking so good. What an impressive... I mean, just the ability to do that for Rush is amazing. He does burn in the corner, and that helps out a little bit. Now it's a 3-on-3, but he couldn't really escape. Electronic trying to lead the charge. He was the first to hit 30 kills in this map, so let's see if he could do more and keep Navi in this for that double overtime. They have kits, they have smokes and grenades. They can definitely do something here, but they need to hurry. JKS getting caught by Boomich, and now the smoke is on the bomb. Yugi and Blameth, though, it leaves Electronic 1 versus 2, and he's trying to spray, but it won't work. It's gonna be a win for complexity on Mirage. 19-17, they pick it up, and it took absolutely everything they had.
If you're holding your breath like I was, you can let it go now. That was everything for complexity. What a win. They had the clutch. That guy right there. That guy right there. He's got the goods today.